Pretty as a peach, that's something they say, and man, it's hard looking at these to think any different. It's the middle of June. I'm in South Georgia, and we all know it is the peach state. You would think nature's bounty is extraordinary. Food grows in the dirt. It grows on trees. You just go pick it off. I did that this morning. So why isn't it free? A lot of cost in getting this food from this farm to you. Some farmers have gotten very creative in recent years. They've found a way to get you to pay to come watch them work. We call it agritourism. Come on, let me take you where the food comes from. So the food grows in the dirt, including the trees that some of the food comes off of. Dirt's free, plants are free. You can take a walk through the woods and the forest, you'll see food growing everywhere. You'll see trees with food growing on it. So why does food cost so much? Why do we have to spend money on food? These peaches, I went out and picked them myself this morning. Wasn't even hard work. They're in easy reach. They were free to me because I went and got them, and maybe I didn't tell the farmer that I went and got them. But somebody had to grow that peach tree. Somebody had to plant that peach tree. Somebody has had to take care of that peach tree for 3, 4, 5 years as it began to mature and put out fruit. That tree has to be pruned. It has to be watered. It has to be fed. It has to be thinned. When the peaches are ready, someone has to pick them. Then someone has to pack them in a box. Then they have to put them on a truck and bring them to you. All of those things cost money, and they cost farmers money. It's a game where there are huge profits to be made, but there are huge costs involved. Over the last 10, 20 years, profit margins in agriculture have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. That's why some creative farmers have looked into agritourism as a new source of revenue. At Lane Southern Orchards in Fort Valley, Georgia, they were agritourism way before agritourism was cool. Mark, there's not much prettier than a peach tree in Georgia in the summertime. I mean, that's just a gorgeous thing to look at. The one drawback to it might be it's also really hot in Georgia in the summertime. This is why we're lucky enough to be standing in the shade
That's right.
of this peach tree.
Yeah.
So Lane Southern Orchards, this is a family that has been in Georgia tradition as peach growers for generations. Lane Southern Orchards has evolved into its own organization.
That's true.
But somebody has been growing peaches on this land for 100 years?
Company started here in 1908.
08, so
1908.
over 100 years.
That's right.
A lot of people already know if they're heading south on I-75 and they get south of Atlanta, if they're going to Florida or wherever they're going, they're going to start seeing the billboards, and that might be someplace they should stop.
That's what we hope.
I mean, there's 4 things you think of in Georgia: peaches, pecans, watermelons, and Vidalia onions.
True.
I would say Coca-Cola, but it's not a fruit or vegetable. So, out of those 4 Georgia products that are the legacy Georgia crops, Lane is heavy, and has been for long in 2 of them. That's these beautiful peaches.
True.
And also the beautiful pecan crop that you bring off. What makes those 2 compatible? Because we see that a lot. Sometimes we see people who are growing peaches also growing pecans.
Well, when we put peach and pecan trees together, it's because peach trees have a life of about 15 years.
Okay.
And with a certain piece of land, you can do 2 rotations of peaches on that land without any issues. Third time, because of soil conditions and so forth, they gets a little dicey.
So they're not going to produce as well. They've taken those nutrients out of the soil, and that's just what you're going to get until that dirt gets a chance to recover and recharge.
So what we're going to do is, when we plant that third time, we'll plant peaches, and then we'll plant pecan trees in with them, where we will eventually want a pecan tree to be. In 12 to 15 years, that peach tree is finished. We push that out, and now you have a producing pecan grove ready to go.
That's already working.
Right.
Because unlike a peach tree that lasts 15 years, a pecan tree can have a lifespan of 200 years.
We'll let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us when they get done.
I don't think we've worn one out yet. They may die for other reasons.
Call me when you lose one.
Exactly.
But it's not 200 years of full-blown pecan shower production every year, but a long part of that long lifespan is productive.
It is. We have trees on the farm that are 75 years old still producing very well.
Over about the last 10 years, we've heard this new term, I think it's a new word and somebody made it up, called agritourism. Now, you understand and I understand agritourism is where people come and pay money to watch farmers work. There's nothing more beautiful than a day on the farm. But this agritourism thing, in the last really 10 years, we've seen it become a big thing. People will come, you get in a wagon, you go take a little tour, you see the hay bales, you ride on the hay, you have a cup of cider, and it's a lovely deal. And that's become very cool. But Lane was agritourism long before agritourism was cool. Even before agritourism was a word, I was sure. This is one of the big draws here. You've got one of the largest, if not the largest, peach growing operations in Georgia, a huge presence in pecans, but it is the Lane Southern Orchards Cafe, gift shop, whatnot. There's a lot, ice cream, there's a lot going on in that building.
Right.
When did Lane make the move into that?
Well, it all started in the mid-90s. We built a new packing house, and travelers would stop by the packing house and want to buy a box of peaches. Being entrepreneurs at that time, the folks said, okay, we'll set some tables up out front, and we'll sell a box of peaches to the travelers when they come by. And then one thing led to another. They would ask, well, is there any place around here we can get something to eat? We said, well, we'll start doing something
I know
here.
what else is on this exit market. And the answer was no.
So it led to, we'll put in an ice cream machine and make peach ice cream. We'll put a couple of rocking chairs out there so people can sit down and eat their ice cream. And then chicken salad sandwiches were added.
All right.
And then from there, it just, every year, it just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. And it's grown now to the point where we have a full cafe. We have a large roadside market with all kinds of Georgia produce and Georgia grown products in there. We have a mail order section where you can ship peaches to your family back home.
And again, it still sounds like a little roadside stand with Granny standing behind the counter going, I made some peach bread this morning. And that's not it either.
No, it's a little different than that now. We get about 350,000 visitors a year.
Wow.
Through our facility. Most of those, of course, during peach season.
Sure.
So from May to August is our biggest time of year. It's peach season.
How significant is the agritourism component?
Monetarily, it's not as big as peaches and pecans on the commercial side, but it's a way to promote our product, and it's a way for people to get to know Lane and get to know Lane peaches and Lane pecans. And then when they go home and they go to the grocery store, they look for the label because they've been there, they've seen it, they know how much we care about what we do, they know the quality of the product, and they look for that in their grocery store.
And don't you think that is the most important thing that people today are looking for?
Folks say, my parents always stopped here, and now I'm bringing my children here, and so it's a good feeling. They look forward to coming.
But I tell you what, if it wasn't for these, none of the rest of that would matter, would it?
That's right. That's right.
So it all starts right here. This one is still, this has got some crunch to it.
Yeah.
And I hope they can hear that at home because it sounds a little bit like an apple in my head.
It does.
It's not quite that crunchy. The flavor's already there.
It is.
It tastes amazing.
Yep.
But the juice isn't running down my chin or my arms, and it doesn't have that soft, creamy peach texture Your goal is to get it off the tree now so that by the time I get it home, either right then or a day or two later, it's going to peak and hit peak perfection.
Our goal is that we'll harvest a peach today, we'll cool it down overnight, we'll pack it in a box tomorrow, ship it tomorrow afternoon. It'll be at the grocery store within 48 hours.
That's pretty good magic act, Mark.
It is. Well, you know, once it leaves here, it's up to the grocery store, but they have the same goals. They want to get it on the shelf as quickly as possible. And so that way it's a very, very fresh peach. May still be just a touch hard. Set it on the counter overnight and start enjoying it the next day.
I was say I can stand out here and just keep eating them. Or we can go across the street and get some ice cream.
We can do that.
You know, why don't we do that?
Okay, let's go.
I'm take the peach with me though.
All right,
let's
it's
go.
yours.
All right, come on. Wendy, I tell you, we were out with the peaches all morning long, and I think we worked up a very hearty appetite. I know we are in the right place now, and this is the cafe here at Lane Southern Orchards, but it's not just a roadside diner, and I think I must confess at this point, I'm here in a professional capacity today, but I have been here undercover many times before, and I brought this lady with me. This is my mother. So we've been coming down here for years and knew about this. I'm so happy to be here to tell the story. But just this menu, I mean, look, I've got good old Southern pork chops, green beans, mashed potatoes, fried green tomatoes. And now you got a lovely salad. Miss Vicki, what do you got? Chicken salad over there? And Mama, show everybody what you got.
My famous hot dog.
Mama got the hot dog.
Always the hot dog.
Point being, it's all from the same place, and you have a wide variety, not the most expansive menu in the world, but there's something here that anybody's gonna want to eat.
There's something for everyone. You're right, and we're so glad that y'all are here visiting with us today, and we're able to enjoy our lunch. But the Peachtree Café, y'all have to save room for cobbler and ice cream.
Now that.
That's why I got what I got.
What you think?
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. We started at the bottom rack and made it all the way to the top, and I think it just started smelling better and better and better as we went. What is that? Cinnamon pecan?
Cinnamon pecan. This is made with our farm fresh pecans.
This is the Lane pecan.
Yes.
And this is, I mean, this is one rack of bread. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. How long do they stay in this kitchen baking bread every day?
They've been doing it since early this morning.
Wow.
So we make almost 160 to 180 loaves of bread a day.
A day. And this is the cinnamon pecan.
Yes.
But you've also got the famous Lane peach bread too.
Yes, yes.
Which is something you just got to try to understand it.
You can just pinch off of it. It makes great French toast. It freezes well.
Now, these recipes, where do they come from? Is this because this is, I think when you walk through the door and those amazing smells that we're talking about, I think this is the first thing that we're talking about and the first thing that we're smelling.
Yes.
Where did these bread recipes come from?
From our chefs. We
So from the
perfected
chef.
it. Yes.
So
yes.
this is how old are these? Are these old recipes or improved recipes or constantly being tweaked recipes?
No. This is the same recipe all the time.
So once you get it right, you kept it right.
We got it right and we kept it that way. Our peach bread won the Flavor of Georgia competition several years ago.
Wow.
So we've been making bread for about 12 years, I guess.
Is that one of the real calling cards? Is the bread? Are people coming through the door to get the bread?
Well, our calling cards are cobbler and ice cream.
Well, I
but
mean,
this is a bonus. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
That's
So-
why we bake so many loaves a day. It's just becoming amazingly popular with our customers, and we can also mail order the bread as well.
So this is another one. You don't have to be in Fort Valley, Georgia to enjoy this bread.
Right.
And it's gonna hold up. You're not gonna buy it today and it's stale tomorrow.
Nope. 14-day shelf life.
14-day shelf
We bake
life.
it today and ship it to you today.
So they need to, next time they're coming down 75, stop off and try it and then go home and order it.
Yes, that's
All
right.
So this is, the bread's amazing, but I've already heard you say it's cobbler and ice cream.
Yes.
All right. You know it's cobbler time.
It's cobbler time.
Can we see a cobbler?
Absolutely.
Can we maybe bite a cobbler?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's start with seeing one.
Okay.
Okay. Look what I just snuck out of the kitchen.
This is
Wendy,
what we've been waiting for.
is this the famous Lane peach cobbler?
This is it.
And I mean, it's still, I had to carry it by the edges because I mean, it's hot, hot, hot. This is baked every day
Every day.
by ladies who are doing it with love and know what they're doing.
The main ingredients is love.
Well, it always
Besides
is in any
peaches.
good kit. Well, the peaches are important. So, how long have these peaches been riding around here before they went in this cobbler and in our cup?
Not too long.
So-
We're right in the middle of peach season
So
right now.
these are some that were just picked. Now, if people are coming in here in January and having peach cobbler, that's still your peaches.
Yes, sir.
They were just prepared, frozen, and put up to get through the winter time.
Yes.
So right now, but right here in the heart of summertime, these are fresh off the tree,
Yes. Fresh off the
straight
tree.
through here.
This is very good.
What's the
glad you're doing it.
difference between cobbler and pie? Does anybody know?
The crust is on the top of a cobbler.
Maybe. It's a little more,
It's pastry on the pie is a rolled crust.
a rolled crust
Cobbler is a dough.
is a drop dough.
It's a cake. Cakey.
And
Oh.
it's only on the top.
Huh.
Where a pie is generally top and bottom.
You know, I think the only reason that matters is for the sake of argument because whether it's a cobbler or a pie, it's working pretty good in it. Would you consider that to be the Lane signature item?
Signature item right here.
So
Yes.
if you're coming here, if you're gonna get anything, get this peach cobbler.
Absolutely.
I can understand why.
So do you like more peaches or more crust?
Yes. I got here early this morning. I went to work. I went and picked peaches. I watched more people pick more peaches than I actually picked. But that's how our day started, was out in the orchards, and we're actually there with the peaches. Then we followed throughout the day. We've had an amazing meal. We saw the peaches being packed. Part of the experience is everything else that's behind us here now. This is the bakery, the breads you're baking on the premises, the treats, the snacks, the gifts, the presents. But if somebody wants something with a little more kick to it,
Yes.
you might have them covered there too.
Yep.
This is Georgia sweet peach wine.
Yes.
This is made with Lane peaches.
Yes, it is.
So did they replace the peach fuzz with the peach buzz?
I guess you could say
Okay,
that
is
too.
that how that works?
Yep, we have a whole line of wines, and all of these wines are made with Georgia fruits down in Guyton, Georgia.
All of your wines are Georgia
Made with
fruits
Georgia
and Georgia
fruit.
grown.
Correct.
How much Georgia product do you try to keep in the store?
I would say about 85% of what we have in our stores is Georgia
85%?
grown. Yes.
So how do you pick your suppliers?
Well, we, as a part of Georgia Grown, there's other members, and so we try to reach out to the Georgia Grown members, and then we try to appeal to our customer base. So we know what our customers are looking for, and we know, the different products with the T-shirts, and then yard art, and then everything in between.
So what are your favorite things in here?
Well, I like the peach preserves and peach salsa. Our peach salsa is really good, and it's not just good with chips, it's good on pork loin or baked chicken.
And again,
So
this
be
is
creative.
Lane peaches. This is not something you're ordering from a factory somewhere.
Right.
They're taking your peaches. You work with other Georgia companies who are going to make that product for you.
Correct.
From your product to your specifications.
Yes.
And how much merchandise in the store do you try to have as branded Lane merchandise using Lane peaches, pecans?
When you walk through the store, you'll see our logo on several different
Mm-hmm.
items, and specifically on the products that have peaches and pecans.
So, but anything else could be Georgia grown, it could be artisan, it could be a craftsman,
Correct.
it might just be good,
Yes.
it might be fancy,
Yes.
it might be good and fancy,
Right.
but it could be any of those things.
Yes.
That's why close to 500,000 people a year get off of that interstate, come where they think is the middle of nowhere, and pull up right here and set a spell.
Yes.
Let's look around the rest of this store. I come out here every week and promise to tell you where the food comes from. That's always going to involve a farm. That will never change. But sometimes our definition of a farm has to expand. It's been a beautiful day here off exit 142 in Georgia. If you're heading south on 75, pull over and pull in. You can end your day the same way I'm about to end mine. Out here, where the food comes from.